This is the 2021 Tom and Jerry adaptation.
We have a mouse problem.
With the what now?
Tom and Jerry is a cartoon series that's beloved by many, has a very nostalgic quality for me. When I went into this movie, that's kind of what I expected from it. Just a nostalgic trip down memory lane, watching two characters I've grown up with for so long just fight to the death. That's what Tom and Jerry is, that's what I expected it to be, and with the premise of them ransacking a hotel, I was all in. I mean, the trailer looked bad, to be frank, and it looked like it was 20 years too late. It looked like it should have came out in the Stuart Little era, but here it is nonetheless, and turns out it came out 20 years too late, and it's very bad.
With the what now?
The script is terrible, the direction is terrible, there's not much redeeming about it. It seems like a movie that most of the budget went to the actual production of the movie and paying Chloe Grace Moretz.
With the what now?
This is a clear case of we're gonna get underpaid animators to try and give this movie some life because it has none. And that's what it feels like, because even the, animation is not great. It feels like it was rushed, it feels like it's unfinished. It's not even on the level of the old live-action hybrid animation movies of old, like Roger Rabbit or even Space Jam. At least those have some kind of charm, some kind of campy quality that I like. This one is like nothing. There's just nothing interesting about this. I'll say the structure was actually solid. That's really the only thing that works particularly well. It hits all the beats it needs to right at the right times. Break into 2, break into 3, setups, locations, all that stuff. It sets everything up pretty well. Chloe Grace Moretz is like a setup as a con artist who just lost her job, so she gets a job at the hotel using her con artist ways.
With the what now?
Which wasn't really established, but hey, you know what, why not? She lives in New York, whatever. And then it's established that Tom wants to be a keyboard player for John Legend, and he thinks that taking a job with the hotel will help him do that, which is a very flimsy motivation, but at least there is a motivation. And then Jerry is motivated by wanting to find an apartment to live in New York. All of it feels like they just are trying to get these characters into one location with very flimsy excuses. But again, at least there is motivation, at least there is excuses for them to be in the places they are in. They aren't just there now, which would have been much lazier, although this is still a different level of laziness. It's not like bottom tier, but it is low. It is lazy. The script is very lazy. The dialogue is terrible. A lot of it feels like it's improv, and Michael Pena just continues to take just terrible role after terrible role, and he's terrible in it. He plays like the straight man who takes everything literally, which is a gag that's been driven into the ground ever since Guardians of the Galaxy. It's old, it's tired, it's just, we should just put it to bed.
I will not let this hotel be ruined by a cat and a mouse.
The worst quality is that there just isn't that much Tom and Jerry. I mean, that's the point of the movie, to make a Tom and Jerry movie. And they're just not in it, like at all. I mean, there's a couple bits where they're doing their thing, and there's some fun animation in those sequences and some inspired gags. There's some funny bits, but it is mostly just a hotel drama set in New York, which feels like it belongs in the late 90s and early 2000s. It's actually shocking. It belongs in a different era, and here it is in 2021. It is the most bizarre thing. None of it works, really. It's not fun. It's a PG family movie, and I just don't know what family would be into this. I mean, people that are into Tom and Jerry, I don't think will enjoy this because there's just not enough of that. People that are into family movies probably won't enjoy this because it's really boring. And kids, I don't think would be able to sit through this because it's just a horribly ugly, horribly shot, and not very entertaining movie. There's nothing that gives this any flair. There's no visual prowess to it. For kids, you know, you need kind of that visual stimulation, and that is just not in here. It's a lot of just static flat shots in an oversaturated hotel room or hotel lobby or hotel hallway. It's just like the most boring sets. It's the most lazy production. It's just terrible. I don't know how this got the green light. I don't know how this got made. I think if you rewrote the script to have more Tom and Jerry in the hotel wreaking havoc, I think it could have worked better, because the bits when they are doing it, it's fun, but it just takes way too much time with the flat, lifeless hotel staff that I don't care about in the least. I'll give it a 3, maybe a 2. It's really bad. Just don't see it. I mean, the point of this whole video was really to prove a point that I'm doing all this in voiceover in this 7-minute video or less, and I have more voiceover in this video than in the actual Tom and Jerry movie. So, an hour and a half of animated characters, and there's more voiceover in this. I don't know if that's that's really a great point, but whatever.